Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to the marketplace. Coming up, the IMF expected to wrap up its fifth review of Ghana's economic program by Friday, with the discussions centered on VAT reforms, revenue measures, and gold board operations. Also coming up, government fails to meet Treasury bills target for second week running as investors continue to shift investments into Bank of Ghana bills and fixed deposits. My name is Daryl Kwao. Details coming up. And first up, the IMF is expected to wrap up its fifth review of Ghana's economic program by Friday, with discussions centered on VAT reforms, revenue measures, arrears clearance, and the gold board operations. Joy Business has learned Ghana is likely to pass the review, unlocking a $360 million disbursement by mid-October. Here's more in this report.
The IMF is turning its attention to GOLDBOD because of its impact on Bank of Ghana's operations as well as the country's international reserves. GOLDBOD is expected to play a very important role in government's plan to centralize the supervision of the export and licensing of gold as well as value addition in the country. During the two-week mission visit, the IMF team, led by Ruben Atoyan, will be seeking to get some understanding on the expected risk of the operations of GOLDBOD to the Ghanaian economy. Again, what steps is government taking to deal with illegal small-scale mining, popularly known as galamsey? The IMF team will be pushing for some answers because of its impact on Ghana's program with the fund going forward. Again, many will be looking forward to the IMF's verdict on how government is handling the galamsey issue and the future of GOLDBOD.
Petroleum industry still records low participation from local businesses, a gap the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation, GNPC, is determined to close. Chief Executive Officer Kwame Ntoamwa, speaking at a vendor engagement seminar in Tema, said the corporation is charting a future where Ghanaian enterprises can lead, compete, and ensure the nation's natural wealth works for its people. Here's more.
Local participation in Ghana's oil and gas sector remains low, barely 15%, leaving billions of dollars in the hands of foreign firms. But Ghana National Petroleum Corporation says the tide must turn, setting an ambitious target of 50% local participation within 5 years. Officials say the shift could inject millions of dollars into Ghana's economy every year, creating jobs and strengthening local industries. At its maiden vendor engagement seminar marking GNPC's 40th anniversary, the corporation urged local businesses to seize new opportunities. Kwame Ntoamwa is the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation.
Through the work that we're doing in the offshore, and now we're going inland into the inland basins, we hope to steadily bring control back to Ghanaians. And the opportunities exist in both our fields offshore and the Voltairean Basin. And we expect that this will provide a new space for indigenous companies to play an active role. Our vision is a value chain that embeds all of you, including our affiliates, our suppliers, our vendors, seamlessly to deliver value to the people of Ghana.
Barbara Efriye Owusu of the Supply Chain Unit warned that expired certificates, incomplete documents, and late submissions are costing vendors contracts. With tendering now fully digital, she stressed the need to meet deadlines. GNPC's manager for local content development and supply chain, Saidu Salim Brahma, added that structured capacity building will help vendors meet international standards with new opportunities emerging in the Voltane Basin.
We think that we are getting to a point where Ghana should take our own destiny into our hands. Gold is doing what it can, but if we are still discovering more oil wells, and we are able to take advantage of these oil wells and rather make Ghanaians at the forefront of it, we are not doing too much refinery in this country. The least we can do is to make sure that the local firms provide the services, provide the goods, and provide the works. Look at the presentations. You see the amount of infrastructure. Look, if I'm to move a rig from Tema to the north, can you imagine the number of bridges that have to be strengthened? And all of this is construction that has to stay within Ghana.
The Petroleum Commission and Public Procurement Authority also walked participants through Ghana's local content laws and electronic procurement platforms.
Time to turn to the financial markets. For some news, investors continue to shift their investments into Bank of Ghana bills and fixed deposits as the government failed to meet its target for the second week running. According to auction results by the Bank of Ghana, the offer was undersubscribed by 30%. Joining me on Zoom, Mark Jordan Sikanatel, who is Senior Research Analyst at Loris Africa Securities. Good afternoon to you. So, given the 30% undersubscription and investors' tilt to Bank of Ghana bills over T-bills, what does this signal about market confidence in government debt versus central bank instruments?
Good afternoon, Daryl, and thanks for having me. I think, we saw a subscription, an under subscription in last week's money market auction. I think, like you mentioned, in terms of what it means for confidence, I think it will be quick to say that investors are losing confidence in government of Ghana securities. I think the confidence is still there. What we are seeing is a large play of investor need for higher return. I mean, as a rational investor, if you have two options, you will most likely always opt for what really balances your risks and still give you the optimum, the highest return. I think that's what we are seeing because last week you saw the BOG, soaking up bets, liquidity amounting to about 9.5 billion. And this was around like 21%, while you see our 91-day yield just around 10.47%, which is considerably below that. So we are just seeing a rational play of investor behavior on the market and not necessarily investor confidence damping in government securities.
Right. So, I mean, yields have been declining. They decline marginally across tenors, but that is still well below lending rates and inflation. How sustainable is investor confidence at these levels, and what downside risks could emerge if macro conditions shift?
Okay, Daryl, thanks. So on that subject, I think it is a two multi-dimensional view. One, you have a government which is hard on fiscal consolidation, wants to keep borrowing costs in check. And so I think for the Treasury on the government side, for them, it is largely about keeping borrowing costs in check. So the lower yields they get, the better for them. And I think they've really kept hands on yields on that end. And that's why you see the under subscription and they seem not to be bothered about it and still keep lower yields. On the other side, you see the MPC also, the NPR also having high rates, soaking up bids at that level. So I think in the medium term, there is some good news because we've seen inflation drop in the BOG's medium-term target, which is between 6% and 10%. And what that means is that we could, see more bold drop in interest rates in the future. And gradually, as that comes into play, hopefully the T-bills will now fall into juicy light. And will start soaking up significant bids, just like the automobile.
Yeah, let's turn to the stock market. What's the outlook like for this week?
Yes, so in light of easing interest rates in the Ghanaian markets, and also expectations that NPR could go lower, we've seen investors tilt attention, to the equities market as well. We've seen strong demand, and we expect that to continue with investors seeking, high yielding assets. We have counters like MTN. We are looking at counters like MTN, FML, EcoBank, Glidestone in the market. So largely, these are expectations in the stock market going into this week.
All right, Mark Jordan Sikanate, Senior Research Analyst at Loris Africa Securities. Thank you so much for joining us on The Marketplace. We're taking a short break. We'll be back with some more stories. Welcome back. We have some more news for you on The Marketplace. The ESO Forum 2025 has brought together enterprise support organizations from across Ghana for its 4th annual gathering. Organized by ESO Collaborative, the event focused on tracking progress since the 2022 action plan and strengthening ties with funders, development partners, and key stakeholders. There's more in this report.
Team shared challenges, shared solutions, ensuring sustainability and long-term impact. The ESO Forum created a platform for knowledge sharing, collaboration, and discussion on securing long-term support for entrepreneurs and small businesses in Ghana. Chief Executive of Impact Investing Ghana, Amalati, speaking to Joy Business, called on government to scale up funding for the enterprise ecosystem. She noted that increased investment will not only support entrepreneurship but also accelerate national development and job creation.
We're very happy with the support from government, and we want to see more government funding going into the ecosystem, going to startups through hubs, going to increasing the quality of professional services that businesses have access to. The government is doing a lot through its business resource centers across the country, but there's a need for more private sector action and partnership with government so that we can all see this beautiful Ghana that we want.
Program lead at the World University Service of Canada, Rosemond Aina, reaffirmed commitment to helping Ghanaian businesses thrive by providing both technical and financial assistance.
Of course, for us, we are there to support young people to be able to thrive in whatever they do. If it is a business idea that will help that young girl in a rural community and urban setting to be able to make a living and be able to grow and thrive in the ecosystem, we will do whatever is possible to be able to do that. So we don't really get demoralized by some of the difficulties we face. In actual fact, we are there to help to address some of those difficulties. So we are not really so much bothered about it, but rather see those things as an opportunity to work together with them to address them.
For many participants, the forum was an opportunity to learn, network, and explore new possibilities. Attendee Ohiniwa Williams shared her experience.
Just as it's been said a number of times in the forum, but understanding that working together will create more impact than working in silos, and that sometimes working in silos also means that there's a limited perspective on things, and working with other people exposes you to a broader picture and a bigger impact, because there's so much you can do as one person. You may be trying to do something, but your goal may not be as big if we were doing as a collective.
With stakeholders renewing their commitments, the forum closed with a call for stronger partnership and sustainable funding to ensure Ghana's enterprise ecosystem continues to grow and deliver lasting impact.
MTN Ghana is boosting youth empowerment through agriculture with a 3 million Ghana Cedi Vegetable Center of Excellence at the University of Ghana Farms. The project is aimed at tackling unemployment and promoting modern farming.
MTN Ghana, in partnership with the University of Ghana and the pharmacist, has visited the Vegetable Center of Excellence at the University of Ghana farm to review progress. The 3 million Ghana cedi project launched in May this year seeks to empower young people through modern agriculture. Chief Corporate Services and Sustainability Officer at MTN Ghana, Ajwa Wiafe, said the initiative aligns with national priorities in agriculture and helps address youth unemployment.
We like to support national priorities, and some of the key priorities that we see and we all know about our youth unemployment, and we always talk about agric being the backbone of this economy. Young people are looking for jobs. There are no jobs or very few jobs in the formal sector. How do we help them to build their own or create their own jobs and become entrepreneurs? And agric is a good way to do that and a good starting point for entrepreneurship. And so this Center of Excellence, first of all, is to equip the students of this institution so that they can gain some practical experience and also be encouraged to go into agric.
She also highlighted the need for the country to revisit the Operation Feed Yourself concept.
Many years ago, we talked about Operation Feed Yourself, and I think it's important that maybe we go back to those kinds of things that encouraged people to have backyard gardens. And this is what this is all about. That regardless of how much land you have, you can grow something that you can eat and even supply to others.
Co-founder of the Pharmacists Group Limited, Charles Ajiman, expressed optimism that more young people will take up farming as a viable career path. He explained that the project is designed to reposition agriculture as a sustainable future for the youth.
The expectation is that a lot of young people will find farming more attractive and go into it. You know, one thing about agricultural students, once we finish school, we can't go and compete with the guys who did the business administration for the corporate stuff. But we're trying to carve out a career pathway for the young people who study agriculture. And we believe that once you finish school, you have the practical know-how, the exposure, you can start your agribusiness running. You don't have to now go and write CVs trying to tell somebody they are competent enough. The experience we gain here after 4 years should put you on a way to having your own farm business in this.
The initiative is expected to train over 300 young people in vocational agriculture and agribusiness management over 2 years, equipping them with practical skills, access to land, tools, and market linkages to start their own businesses.
Now, OmniBSIC Bank has held the 9th edition of its annual health walk at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium with the aim of promoting healthy living among staff, customers, and the general public.
OmniBSIC Bank Health Walk attracted participants from all walks of life. The walk, which covered an 11-kilometer route, took participants through major streets including Bauleshi, American House, Brain Hill International School, and Shiashi before returning to the stadium. Chairperson of the Health Walk Committee, Echafre Ahin Adokufuo, said the initiative seeks to raise awareness about the importance of regular exercise, particularly in the face of rising cases of sudden illnesses and death among young people.
We've realized that a lot of people are dying. In fact, a lot of younger people are dying, especially people, professionals, and people who work in banks and other white-collar jobs, as they call it. They sit for a long time. So this is one of our ways in helping them to realize, in fact, to sensitize people that it's important for you to exercise in one way or the other. The health walk will not be the answer, but at least I think it's prompted a lot of people to understand the need for exercising.
She noted that beyond improving fiscal health, the health walk has helped the bank attract new customers and strengthen its relationship with existing clients.
With customer engagement, in fact, this has also brought us clients, if I should say, or customers, or just people who even want to understand banking. People have become interested in OmniBSIC and also have come to know that OmniBSIC is not just another bank as we've been touting.
In addition to promoting wellness, she added that the event provided an opportunity for local businesses to showcase and promote their products and services.
I mean, the impact has been great, and for our vendors, they've also earned a lot of money from this fair. As we said, it's free. We don't charge anything from any vendor. So, I mean, they come, they sell, and it's just for them.
OmniBSIC Bank says it remains committed to encouraging fitness and building stronger community ties through initiatives like the Health Walk, which continues to grow in participation and impact each year.
And that's it for the marketplace. There is more news on our website, nigeriaonline.com/business. But total petroleum consumption for half year hits 3.6 billion liters despite rising fuel prices. Also, T-bills auction, we discussed that. Government fails to meet target again, but interest rates decrease marginally. myjoyonline.com/business. My name is Darryl Kwao. Thanks for watching. We leave you with our Money Lab episode for today.
Hi there. Welcome to Money Lab. My name is Paul Kofi Mant, Managing Director of EDC Investment Limited, a member of the EcoBank Group. We have been discussing financial independence. And today I want to bring to your attention to the fact that money does two important things in your life. One, it is a time redemption strategy. The more money you have, the quicker you are able to do things. Let me explain. Washing with your hands for 2 hours or 3 hours, as against using a washing machine. Washing machine helps you to redeem time. And secondly, money also is a mechanism for efficiency. The more money you have, the more efficient you can live your life. But don't forget to deal with the 3 self-imposed limitations. Number 1 is procrastination. I will do it tomorrow. Tomorrow will never come. Number 2 is excuses. You can always find an excuse why you cannot do it. And excuse number 1 for all of us is the salary is not enough. And number 3 is blame, when you point at other people rather than looking within yourself. Many thanks for making time for Money Lab, and remember, financial independence is possible.